This is Ray, W2RE. I'm going to give you an overview of the 164 square and other antennas here up in Summit, New York. I just installed this coupler on this tree right here. I velcroed a dummy load underneath. I'm going to take this black bag and I'm going to cover this over here shortly. As you can see, all the coax is coming in from the 4 radiators, and the terrain just drops right off from here. As you can see, the terrain just drops. So this 4 square is sitting at 2,170 feet above sea level, and we think this thing's going to play real well. If you look through those trees, you see another ridge that's a couple miles away. This terrain right here drops from 2070 in the northeast direction down to 1,800 feet in less than a mile. So it's a good drop off. I'll walk you over to one of the radiators here. Show you how this has been installed. And you'll see that the leaves are pretty much down on the ground here. We do have some leaves still on the trees, but half of them have already fallen. And I'm walking out towards the southwest. This is going to be the southwest radiator. And this is the coax coming from the coupler, coming up the tree and being fed right at the tree. So we got 8 elevated radials. And here's the radiator coming off the tree. And that's going up to about 90, 100 feet, and then the rest is horizontal. And all 4 radiators are like that. Anywhere between 70 to 100 feet vertical and the rest horizontal, with 8 elevated radials. On top of this ridge, this thing should really play. Okay, I'm going to walk you to the 80 meter 4 square. So we're approximately 1,000 feet from the shack. And we're going to walk to the 80 meter 4 square, and then I'm going to walk into the tower field. So this video will take about 5 or 6 minutes. Just a minute or two in walking to each antenna here. So we're pretty deep in the woods here, 2,070 feet above sea level, up in Schoharie County, central part of the state of New York, the northern Catskill Mountains. And here we come out to the, we got a path here. This is where we come back here with the quad. Didn't bring the quad back here today. There's hunters back here, so I didn't want to disturb them with the noise. And I'm going to walk out to the northwest radiator on the 80 meter 4 square. And here we are. Again, the same scenario. Got a radiator going up into the tree. In this case, you know, they only have to be 60 feet, so they're all 60 feet vertical, no horizontal. Right here is where all the radials are tied together. The radiator, and then the coax going into a coupler, which is down here in a black bag, underneath a black bag. And we got 4 of these out here in the field. So you got a 4 square on 80 and a 4 square on 160. And now I'm going to walk back towards the shack, which is approximately 500 feet from here. But I'm going to walk to the edge of the tower field. And the terrain goes down to about 2,050 feet to the first tower. So the terrain drop off towards the tower field is about 20 feet. That's why we put these 4 squares deep in the woods here, to get them far away from the towers, and for you know, having a quiet location for the 4 square and keep them pretty separated apart so it wouldn't cause any interaction. Beautiful October morning here. It's about 50 degrees. and mostly cloudy, but enjoyable day to work on antennas. So as we walk down to the tower field here, following the path here in Summit, New York, and we're pretty close now, only a short more distance till we get to the open field here. And here we come down to the first tower here. So right here we have 4/4 on 20, and there's a 3-element 40 above there on a mast and a rotor. Short distance here, and show you the other towers. Again, the 20-meter stacks. Then back over there is where we have the 10 and 15-meter stacks, which is 5/5/5 and 10, and the same thing on 15. There's only one antenna on a rotator there, and that'd be the 15. The 3 5-elements are fixed towards Europe. And then we have another tower there in the distance, about maybe 400 feet from here, and that holds the monobanders on 10 meters, 6 meters, and 20 meters. And further out here in the distance, as you can see, everything's pretty spread apart here. There aren't towers on top of towers like you see at some other QTHs. Our furthest antenna apart, it could be about 1,500 feet apart. And coming through the trees here, and out in the distance there is our WARC antennas. And they're on a 90-foot tower down there at the edge of the property. And then, of course, there's the shack. So that's the overview from the ground. Usually I take these from the top of the tower and give you an idea of the setup here. So the 4 squares are deep on the top of the ridge, where it's much quieter, and where we have the 100-foot trees out on the ridge, which makes great support for radiators. And one other thing I want to show you here before we shut this down is all the towers have 1 5/8 run to them. And here's the 2 runs, 1 5/8, 1 5/8, and both of them run back to the shack. Okay, thanks for watching. This is Ray, W2RE, up in Summit, New York.